With Dr. Light's robots all being down, you'd think we'd be in the clear, but Dr. Wily still has a few nasty surprises left in store for us before we can reach him. What we're going to do today is go through each and every one of those nasty surprises, because today's episode is a triple header, and here we go. Now, Wily 1 starts out with some big trouble in the form of the Big Eyes, or at least they would be if we didn't have weapons like Ice Slasher or our Magnet Beam utility to get around them. You can get into a Buster duel with them in Powered Up's old style mode since they're slow enough. I still wouldn't recommend it though, because there's always the chance they push you back just far enough that they'll respawn, and that just wastes time, and believe me, you'll be wasting enough time later on when we take on the boss. There are some jumps in this stage that are quite tough, like with those fire jets there. It is very easy on the first two jumps to bonk your head on the ceiling and miss the jump up to the next platform. Trust me on that, it happened to me quite a few times, because I did spend about, I think, a half hour or so getting a run that I liked in on this. The nice thing here is that there's no more killer bullets traveling in a wave arc with the spikes. You can use Magnet Beam if you're not confident in your abilities, but I'd rather use it in this room with the footholders because, as I found out, I really do not like these guys in this game. One thing I should mention, though, here is if you do get knocked into the spikes, unlike in Mega Man 1, you still have a safe period after being hit, whereas even if you are hit and then go into the spikes in Mega Man 1, you'd be an instant goner. Here, though, nah. You also need enough Magnet Beam shots to climb up to the top. You want to at least have 6. And with that, we are already to the boss of the first level, and oh boy, here we go. It's time for the Yellow Devil. It is kind of nice, though, that you can at least, see him come in here, as opposed to the NES game where the health bar fills up while he's off-screen, and he just flies at you from left to right at lightning speed while you have absolutely no idea what's going on. Here, though, he forms up, then the health bar comes in. And that's how it should be. But, so much for lightning speed here. You have to jump over the 1st, 3rd, 6th, 9th, 10th, and 2nd to last blob segments, or, you'll get hit. But you can see that the speed of these attacks is nothing compared to the way it used to be in the NES days, and that includes the little eyeball shot after he forms up, and then you just lather, rinse, repeat with this guy. It's kind of amazing how much he's been toned down, because, again, that speed makes a huge difference in how you have to dodge the blob segments, because when you're playing in the NES game, you have to pretty much jump over segments 9 and 10 with one big leap, where here you can just do it in 2 casual jumps. Honestly, this fight, again, loses the difficulty and just becomes a tedious one. Yeah, I never really liked fighting this guy that much. Still better than that boobing boss from Mega Man 2, but I don't know. I guess I just don't like bosses that waste your time like this, and you have such a short window to attack him, and if he hits you, especially in the NES game, you aren't able to counterattack. It's kind of frustrating to see that happen. Here, though, again, you're not even worrying about that, you're just waiting for the whole segment to go, and I'm even watching the timer on the screen right now to see how long it's taking, and we're at, well, coming up on 10 seconds now, and he still hasn't formed up. I think it's about 15. And that's kind of ridiculous when you see it in action like this. And that was about 20 seconds where he's going from side to side from the moment he starts to transform into a ball to when he finally shows his eyeball. And then you have a 2-second window to hit him. I'm just glad this is the last hit, because there's too little to say about this fight other than I don't like it. Nope, nope, nope. Goodbye. Yeah, I think you can tell that it doesn't matter whether it's the original Mega Man, new style mode, old style mode, any style mode, really. I'm just not a huge fan of that Yellow Devil fight, and I am so glad that it's over. Of course, I say that, but then again, during the recording session, I knew I still had 2 stages to go, and if I messed up on either, yeah, we'd be doing this run all over again. And this is really one of the most dangerous sections of said run, because the bladers are going to come flying in off screen and try to knock us into the pit during our jumps. But if you wait until you jump, or wait until you get to the edge of the ledge, you can shoot them from there and then make your jump. And believe me, that's exactly what you want to do. Instead of falling into our reef bites, we just walk right into a boss shutter with them. Cutman's up first, and he's pretty easy unless you hit him while he's tossing his cutter at you, in which case you probably won't have enough time to get over the cutter like I did there, and was hit in one of the easiest reef fights in the entire game. And yeah, I'm kind of embarrassed by that. Yep. But you know what, you just gotta move on and take it, because you can't worry about messing up now. I refuse to have to redo the whole Wily 1 thing again after how poorly I did with the footholder section and whatnot, and even the fire jets. So yeah, the runs you're seeing here with Wily 2 and 3 are going to be my first runs altogether. And Electman's one that's going to try to put an end to it, but we know how he works after seeing the fight originally. I will say that it's better to just run into him rather than that Thunder Beam. Definitely doesn't do as much damage. I wish I could have avoided damage there, but you know what? Even though I'm going to do my angry shooting spree thing, there's no shame in being hit in that fight. Nah. The last little bit up top here has the bomb-oms. You really want to get down here where their bombs can't reach you, because sometimes you're just not going to be able to hop over their explosive shrapnel otherwise, and it happened there. But again, I'm not all that worried, because this fight coming up isn't that much of a big challenge either. Funny thing there, that octopus battery dropped an extra life, and there was another extra life up above. Kind of funny how that all worked out. Moving on right along, we got really not much to go outside of a few octopus batteries and beaks here and there. I mean, if you want to stock up on weapon energy, you can, but honestly, the one we're going to want for this boss isn't one we've even used yet. But we are at the final screen of the level prior to the boss room, so let's just give a quick look, and then go right on in and face ourselves. So the key to fighting Copy Robot is the same as it ever was. Stay on the left side of the room, keep firing at him, and try to pin him up against the right side. But the thing is, in Powered Up, you can do that so much better than you ever could in the original days, as you're seeing here. He's supposed to be jumping a lot more, but he's just not doing that. And as long as you don't miss your shots, you can pretty much stay grounded and just keep shooting away, and he'll barely get a chance to counterattack, and he's finished already. Yeah. I just don't know about that one. I mean, I really don't know about old-style modes sometimes. It's just amazing to me how it basically works in our favor constantly. And you're going to see that in our third stage coming up, too. Just you wait. And you won't have to wait too long, because guess what? I said we're going to be taking on all of them, so here we go. It's time for Wily 3. This one has octo batteries and screw bombers at the start. What you're going to see here from some of the screw bombers is, as long as you don't jump up, they aren't going to activate. This is kind of funny, considering, yeah, in the NES game, they're the biggest threat of hitting you in this entire level, until you get to the boss, that is. Who I might add isn't that difficult anyway, and we're pretty much already the second half of this very, very short stage. Once the floodgates are open, you're pretty much at the end, because you only have to deal with a bunch of pings, who you can take care of by constantly firing as you run. And once there's a break in the action, there's going to be killer bullets in their place. For them, you only have to jump over every even-numbered one, because those ones fly low enough to actually hit you. But if you keep running, you're only going to have to deal with 3 waves here, and sure enough, you're at the boss in no time flat. Go figure. In the original, you had to take out 7 bubbles here with CW01P. Here you only have to deal with 5, though, and what you really want to do is just stand on the right guts block, as I wasn't doing, and thus allowing him to hit me a couple times. So once you've taken him out 3 times, pick up your block, toss it at him. Pick up the other block, toss it at him. You win. Why was that so easy? I don't know. It just was. Yeah, Wily 3 was pretty simple in the original, but I will say right now there was one thing about this stage I was disappointed with, and that's that I could not beat it in under a minute because I hesitated a couple times for not knowing how pathetic the screw bombers were. What's even more pathetic is that this was supposed to be the setup for the climactic conclusion next time, but those bots went down so painlessly that I don't think that I can do that now. You just don't build them like you used to, Doc. So, you know what? Next time, on the final time of the old-style part of the playthrough, Mega Man and I are just gonna put you out of your misery, Dr. Wily. Yep.